Hey, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Melee all day, and I'm coming back at you with a hot topic, a hot conversation. But I think it's one that we need to have. Salute to the chat. I want to thank y'all for coming by and politicking with me. In a few, I will drop the link, and I hope y'all come up and participate and give your point of view. Y'all see it, and I pose the question to you. Is it time to legalize prostitution? You know, you can sell alcohol, you can purchase marijuana. Why is it illegal for someone to engage in sex for sale? Some people are lonely. Some people are unattractive. Some people don't have time for a girlfriend. Some people don't want commitment. Some people want to have sex with a beautiful woman, and other than paying for it, there's no other way they could possibly get it. And if that woman is willing to go through a physical, be cleared of all sexually transmitted diseases, and adhere to protocols, condoms, safe sex, why is prostitution still illegal? You know, is it because morally, biblically, you know, a lot of people that's going to push back on that is because of their religion, their belief in God, and they believe that selling sex is a crime. It's a crime against God. It's an abomination. It's morally wrong. But if you can get an abortion, and that's still legal in this country, why can't a man or woman specialize in the profession of sex? Do y'all think it should be legalized? Is it time to legalize sex? You know, you can go to a therapist and talk about your problems. If they legalize sex, are you going to have to go to school, pay for it, learn how to be safe sexually? Should you have to get a degree? You know, I think that selling of sex should be legal. If someone wants to buy sex and someone wants to sell sex, who am I to say they can't engage in that activity? Consensual sex between two consenting adults, you'll never find robbery in even exchange. You give me money, I give you sex. Why should the government tell somebody they're not allowed to get paid for good sex? They're not allowed to get paid for being good at sex. Or think about the man or woman that's overweight, or that's just ugly as all hell, gross, and would never know the joyful feeling to have sex with a beautiful woman or a handsome man. And then there's something, the other side of the coin that no one ever talks about. It's like alcohol. or drugs. When you keep something illegal, you keep the black market thriving. And as we all know, in the black market, ain't no telling what you're going to get out there. You see all these young people, not even just young people, people period, who are dropping dead from this opioid crisis. And that's because when they go and purchase that bag, they don't know what's in it. They're trusting their life to a person that's peddling dope illegally and who don't give a damn about you. So when they legalize drugs and they have these, as they call them, shooting galleries in these cities like San Francisco, where you can go and do your drug legally under that watchful eye of paid professionals, you don't overdose and die. So if they can take prostitution and clean it up, then you know what happens? The women that are being kidnapped and traipsed around the world will no longer have to do that. They'll no longer be that victim. Maybe some still will, but 95% of those that are caught up in that won't go through that, because a man doesn't have to go to the black market to be with the beautiful woman. He can now go to Sandy's Sex Hut or Big Bob's Barnyard. They can go where it's legal and the women are in there because they want to be, because they're beautiful and they're getting paid. Imagine the money. I mean, you see the porn stars, they're making good money. They're selling sex. Everyone in an adult movie is paid. So is that not prostitution in a sense? Is that not prostitution in a sense? Salute to my man A-Train. Salute to Carlos, Goof Troop, Nate the Great. The fellas them came on in. I know this is a risque topic, but I'm going to drop the link, and I hope you brothers will come up. You ain't got to stay long. I ain't going to let you stay long. But drop a word, man. Drop a word. There it is. You know, I think it's time to legalize prostitution. Fellas, ladies, if you're catching this after it's no longer live, tell me what you think in the comments. Is it time to legalize prostitution? I think the sexually transmitted diseases would go down markedly, because these sex professionals can now follow the rules and the guidelines put in place to ensure they're healthy. A man is not going to go into Tony Baloney's crack house and get a crack whore when he can go down to Hitch's Hut and get a girl with a nice big butt. That rhymed. But in all seriousness, you can take your son for his 18th birthday down to Tina's Titty Twisters, Tina's Titty Bar, Tina's Titty Trap, and get him the most beautiful girl he ever laid eyes on. Imagine if you was 18 and that was your birthday present. Your father tell you, come on, we're going out to eat. And he don't take you to no restaurant. He takes you down to Tina's Titty Twilight Zone and get you the woman with the biggest rack and the biggest ass. You would think you were at Heinz Field looking at the Jumbotron, that butt so big. She had the whole world in her pants. Ass like a globe. So round, soft. You will never have any more 40-year-old versions, that's for sure. A man can go down and get what he desires legally. You won't have careers ruined because a man wanted to pay for some sex, because he didn't have time for the games, to go in the bar and spend a bunch of money on buying drinks and all the bullshit and have someone tell him they love him just so they can juice him, when he can just go and pay for what he wants. I think it would save a lot of relationships, because men wouldn't be getting in relationships they didn't want to get into just for a piece. You know what I mean? Because now he's just going and getting what he wants, paying for it. And when he gets in a relationship, he'll be getting in a relationship because he wants to be with that woman, not because he just wants sex. Because some guys are in relationships because it's the only way they can get some ass. Because they ain't going to go out here and break the law. You get in an argument with your woman, you break up with your woman, you end up back with her because you can't get laid by no one else. Or you get back with her because you ain't had none in 2 weeks and you see her out with another dude. You ready to kill everybody. Legalizing prostitution might save lives. So, oh, she out with that motherfucker? Fuck that. I'm going to get me some right now. And ain't got to worry about going to jail. Man. You ever watch that show on HBO, The Bunny Ranch? Dude come in there with his credit card. And for $500, you got a buffet of women standing before you. You got redheads. You got big boobs. You got flat-chested. You got black. You got white. You got Asian. You got Latina mummies. You got big asses. You get the BBWs. Big, beautiful women. You got the skinny petites. Hey, even for the white guys, big butts, no ass. I mean, big titties, no ass. I'm not being facetious. I'm not being silly. We got archaic, old rules and regulations that we're living by. There is no reason for the art of sex and prostitution to be illegal anymore. For what? It's just sex. Government, put these women to work. There's a lot of bed wenches out here that love to have sex. And now they can go from project whore to a ballin' bitch. Why not? Why not? I dropped the link. Y'all scared? Y'all don't want to touch this? Carlos, if you're still in here, come on up, brother. Tell me what you think, man. I think you would be up for some legalized prostitution. What you like, Halle Berry's? The 1995 Halle Berry with the bob cut and a nice smile? Or you want a school teacher with the glasses and the pencil in her hair? And you would like, when you come in, you want to call her Miss Graney or Miss Savarino or Miss Musey. Or is she going to be Miss Backstrom? You know? Or would you like to come in and get you one of them flaggers? You know, you sitting in traffic waiting because they're doing construction and they got one lane shut down, and you sitting there and she's standing there with the flagger with the slow or stop sign with her tight jeans on. And you riding by looking at someone, damn, I'd like to smash that. You want you a flagger. You know? You want you a beach snow bunny. You can get whatever you like. My man, Nate the Great, man. Come on in, partner. Y'all know him oh so well. He's a good friend of the show. He always brings levity and intellect and intelligence. I want to hear what my man got to say about, is it time to legalize prostitution? What's up, Nate?
What's good, man? Salute to the
Salute
chat.
to you, brother. Blessings to you, beloved.
Yeah, man. Happy Friday to everyone. I'm gonna be honest with you, Melee, because I'm not gonna be on here too long. If they legalize gay marriage, they might as well legalize prostitution, man.
Hey, good point, brother. I didn't even think of that one. That's a good point, Nate. Elaborate.
Yeah, no, because I was just thinking about stuff that was being passed, you know, as of the last, I'm gonna say maybe the last 10, 20 years. And I'm like, wait a minute. You legalize gay marriage before you legalize weed. Then you legalize weed, you might as well legalize prostitution, man. I mean, shoot. I mean, it is, if you want to be technical, porn is it technically is a prostitution business. It's just there's no money being exchanged, basically. So
right, no money between the participants of the sex. When you look at it, it's someone else paying for someone to have sex, and then they're getting paid for someone viewing them having sex.
Yeah, basically, shoot. So I felt like this, man. If y'all legalize two things in particular, well, for all that, weed should have been legalized before anything, but that's neither here or there. But if you're going to legalize everything, because that's what it seemed like they trying to do. You trying to legalize everything, you might as well legalize prostitution.
I agree.
Because you do have a point to a degree, because some people, some people are going to do that because, man, listen, it's either they can't get women or they have a hard time getting women, and some people actually just, like you said, they ain't looking for no commitment, just something for the night or whatever, and that's it. So, look, the old saying, get it how you live, so.
Hey, you definitely got a point right there, man. Get it how you live. Get it how you live. Hey, Nate, man, I got to give it to you. Right.
Nah,
legalize gay marriage. If they can legalize gay marriage, how in the world can they justify keeping sex illegal?
They got to keep their hands on something. They got to always try to keep their hands in certain areas anyway. So that's how I felt. Like, man, listen, you're going to do this, but still keep this illegal. That's because, you know, sometimes too, big brother want to profit off of everything. So they can't just profit off of cigarettes and certain shit, even though those is $1 billion industries. Yeah. You know, it's just, it's a hit and miss with that one, man. But
I want to ask the studio audience. Nate gave a good point. Being that they legalized gay marriage, if you think they should legalize prostitution, make some noise, audience. The crowd's cheering, Nate, man. The crowd's cheering, man. I think they are really, really, really behind legalizing prostitution, man. They legalizing it. The studio audience is
definitely legal. You know what's funny though, Melee? Because the truth, certain states actually prostitution is legal in certain states. Hell yeah. But it's just other states they ain't trying to go for it. Like them Commonwealth states, they ain't trying to hear that. All them and them law-abiding states, like, oh, I'm too godly. Those type of people, yeah, they ain't trying to hear that.
Yeah, as they call it down south, the Bible Belt. Texas,
they don't want to hear that.
Mississippi, and Alabama. You know, they was all for lynching, but they don't want to see prostitution. And maybe you could speak on it a little bit more, because as I said earlier, I think religion in the evangelicals, as they like to call themselves, are the reason that, you know, prostitution is illegal, because you have some people that will vote for someone that readily admits they're racist, like David Duke, as long as they are against abortion. You know, some people, that's their only issue, is if you are against abortion, I'm voting for you. I don't care about nothing else politically where you stand. If you're against abortion, I'm with you. And I think that, you know, a lot of the reason is, you know, the religious look at it. You know, it's a sin, fornication, it's an abomination. Those same people that tried to fight off gay marriage. So do you think that, you know, what's your take on the reason it's still illegal? Because like you said, you do have some states like Nevada where in certain districts, certain areas, prostitution is illegal. Like the Bunny Ranch, the Bunny Ranch is like out in the middle of nowhere.
It got to be basically like indoor prostitution, like the old burlesque house and stuff like that, how they used to call it. Hey, we seen them in the burlesque house over there, but it, you know, it's certain states that I felt like this, man. Listen, they was going to legalize certain things. Now you got certain states that's still taking forever to legalize marijuana, regardless. So if they doing it like that, you can tell they ain't going to be too hard up on the prostitution and everything else. Even if it is in an indoor environment and setting, even if it's classy to the T, they don't give two shits. They form of legal prostitution to a degree is strippers. Right. They always want to keep their hands they gonna keep their hands in the pot. Look here, as long as the girls is bringing us money, they don't care.
It started, you know, back in the 20s. Alcohol. What a lot of people don't really recognize is alcohol is the precursor to the mafia in crime, family, and business, because when they outlawed alcohol, that was one of the laws that people gave a nod and a wink to, like, yeah, it's illegal, but it ain't bad. In the prohibition, the criminal made tons of money. And so when they legalized alcohol, it took that stream of revenue away from the organized crime families and members. And so then they switched up the game from alcohol to gambling and prostitution. You know what I mean? And gambling and prostitution was a staple in crime families. And, you know, they had that thing, you know, no drug dealing. Drugs bring heat. No drug dealing. So now they legalized alcohol. Now they've legalized marijuana. I don't know if they'll ever legalize cocaine and narcotics,
Hell no,
because
they ain't gonna do
the
that.
way that people act when they're on drugs, you know, they get crazy and lose their mind and do nutball shit. So I don't know if they'll legalize that. Marijuana doesn't make people wild out. So I don't know if they'll legalize hard drugs. But, you know, once the revenue of the marijuana has been, all the dispensaries and all the companies are up and running, and that stream of funding is running without a hitch, then they're going to look to the next thing. And I think that thing might be prostitution. That might be the next thing that, you know, they looked at as morally wrong, as, you know, because doing drugs is morally wrong. People frown upon it. Oh, he's a weed head, he's a cokehead, he's a crackhead, he's a dope fiend. You know, they hit you with the names, and society frowns upon it.
But
But
guess
now
what?
that they legalize the weed, is you think that it's coming, or am I tripping?
Well, you're not really tripping. I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why I said he might have a better chance to even though, like I said, he legalizing damn near everything now. And even though certain things is frowned upon, look here, there's people that's functioning weed heads, dope heads, all of that. We just had that convo the other week. Like, there's people out here that's functioning. You wouldn't even notice that they on the shit because they don't let that shit hit them. They don't let them take control of them. They can function. Sometimes people can't even function normal without it. So I'd be like, oh, okay. But as far as the prostitution, because it's certain, man, listen, if they get somewhere and they letting certain things under the table already, like, we ain't really paying this no mind. As long as they, like I said, as long as it's not affecting their revenue, and they might as well, man.
Yeah, because
you know they got a hand in it anyway. So shoot,
you know, as you look at history, sex has been a thing that the powers that be have used to ruin prominent people. You know, Martin Luther King, they tapped his hotel rooms and recorded him having sex with women that weren't his wife, and sent his wife the tapes, and different senators that had to step down because they were caught with a prostitute, and, you know, the shit with Marion Barry in the hotel room. And, you know, sex has been a trap for many a man of power. And not only has it been a trap, but it's also been set up to where, okay, we're going to get this motherfucker in this hotel room on tape, and then we're going to blackmail him. So if they legalized sex, it would behoove a lot of these senators and men of power to make it legal, because then that's one less thing that they got to worry about getting jammed up for. What say you, Nate?
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth to a degree. I ain't gonna hold you, because it always struck me as weird. Every time it gets to that, oh damn, you got brought down by either the prostitute, or you got brought down by a mistress. Be like, damn, bro, like, you might as well, man, because like I said, you got porn, that's technically prostitution, but and then you got these, like I said, you got the like the bunny ranches and stuff like that. So you might as well, man. Listen, as long as you're not outside exchanging, it's almost like how drug dealing. If you ain't out there, if you out there, you ain't, niggas never know you out there until you end up doing something like wrong transaction or something like that. Damn, direct sale got me. But if you know what's what, and if it's under the radar, can't nobody really say nothing. They don't really be noticing certain things going on. So, but my whole thing, you might as well just legalize it, man. Because look, at least this way, when somebody do get ran down on, well, look, it was legal, so I don't want to hear it. Like, what can you tell me now? It wasn't illegal,
right? You know, and it's a whatever floats your boat type of thing nowadays. So why make sex is what everyone enjoys. Now, different types of sex come into play, but at the end of the day, everyone loves that feeling of orgasm. What may bring you to orgasm might be some weirdo shit. you know. But at the end of the day, when you strip all that away, the orgasm is a feeling that everyone likes. Some people don't want to have sex unless it's with themselves, but it is a feeling that everyone likes, the orgasm. So why make it illegal to get one? Now think about this, Nate. You got guys, you know, sex sells. You got your fantasies. Oh, hey, daddy, how was work? You know, all the role playing and all that. What we've been seeing a lot discussed lately on the YouTube, the pedophile. You can get that girl that's 18, 19, and she looks 14. She could be a millionaire because she can come in and help the pedophile who wants to be with an underage girl, but that's against the law. He can come in and get that 18-year-old girl that looks 15. And, you know, I don't know because I don't have that in me. I don't have that demon in me. I don't have that spirit in me that likes to be with a young girl. The guys that do that, I'm sure that they probably wish they didn't like it because it's illegal and they struggle with it and they fight it and they don't want to do it because they don't want to go to jail.
If we're talking about the same person,
if you can come into Melee's House of Madness and get you an 18-year-old girl that looks 15 and puts a book bag on and acts like she's 12 years old, that may keep you out of jail. You know, there's a lot, call me crazy, but there's a lot of crimes that we can prevent by legalizing sex, man.
Yeah, but then guess what, Melee? There's always a how you say it? There's always a catch-22 with that. There's a reason why they don't really legalize prostitution, because you gotta look at it. It's not the majority of the kids. Is kids involved in that too. So
rape is gonna go through the roof.
Exactly. That's the one thing that's gonna go through the roof if you legalize it, because a lot of rape is gonna be a lot of.
Why you say rape's gonna go through the roof?
Because if they feel, prime example, if these girls is not really into older, is because there's girls out there that prostitute too. Like there's women of all ages doing that. And if you got a young girl out there, if she get caught up with the wrong one,
simple fact one.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing, man.
Older niggas.
Now, when I say legalize prostitution, it's going to be regulated. Just because alcohol's legal, it's not legal for me to sell beer and liquor out of my house. I got to have a liquor license. I got to have a bar. I got to have a business. I got to pay my taxes. So when you are when you are selling sex, number one, all your girls got to be tested every 3 months for STDs. Their testings got to be seen and got to be posted so everyone knows that she got a clean bill of health. When you come in here, you got to have 2-3 security guards online. Then you're going to know that there's cameras in here. So when you come in here, there might not be a camera in the room unless you want it recorded. There's cameras that's going to see you come in here. So when you come in, the girl has the right to say, nah, I ain't doing nothing with him. And if she does that, then your business is going to suffer because you're losing a client. So it's not like a man's going to come in and then take a girl in the back room and then she gets back there and says, oh, I can't do it, and keep his money. You know what I mean? There's going to be rules, regulations, and I mean, it is what it is. You probably going to have women that are on drugs, doing and living this lifestyle. You know, you're always going to have your backdoor streetwalker that's going to be selling her body and blowjobs for drugs. You know, we ain't going to never get rid of that. You know, there's gonna be a dude somewhere getting high, and the girl's gonna be sitting there fiending, looking at him like, "Give me a hit," and he gonna tell her, "Look, you know, suck this dick." And she gonna, you know what I mean? And then he gonna slide her a little half a 20 and give her a blast, and then give her another blast. You know what I'm saying? So you always gonna have that going on, but I'm just talking about the man that is a businessman, and he got a meeting in Tacoma, Washington, and he flies up to Seattle International Airport, and he gets off the plane, and he goes to the hotel, and he gets on the room service, and maybe he orders up something, or he goes downstairs to the sex parlor and gets his thing and enjoys it, and he spent $1,000 and is the best business trip of his life. Now, I think women are going to participate. They're going to be buying sex now. You know what I mean? You're going to have your old grannies and widows and shit like that who's going to be coming in there trying to get her a young man. The
Come here, Spanish.
You know what I mean? To knock the lining out her ass. But women is going to be mad because they're going to know whenever their husband's going on a business trip, he's probably getting laid. It might break up some homes. But at the same time, you know, the men that are doing this shit are doing it anyway. You know what I mean? You see Warren Sapp at the Super Bowl, he gets arrested for soliciting a prostitute, and she's an undercover cop. Why should Warren Sapp be getting arrested because he's a millionaire and he ain't got time to be in the bar buying drinks and everybody asking for autographs and taking pictures of him hollering at women when he can just go and pay for something? Or like Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, millionaire, owns his own plane worth of over billions of dollars, and he getting arrested because he wouldn't get a little hand job, a little head. Come on, man. We cannot continue to rule society with these archaic, ancient laws, man. These old skirt to the floor, prim and proper, bow down, praying 5 times a day laws. You know, this is 2021, man, and motherfuckers, like you said, man, gay marriage is legal. Gay marriage is legal, so why should sex not be able to be bought and sold?
Yeah, man, but like I told you, it's always going to be a catch-22 with that because there's different aspects when it comes to that. And then if you got people that's trying to make it, like you said, you got to go through everything. And you got some people that's not going to want to follow protocol, basically. There's a lot of people out there that won't follow a protocol. So on top of that,
well, you always gonna have that. We always gonna have that, but you know, then now what we can do is we can make the laws harsher. When you get caught soliciting prostitutes, you in the jail because there's no reason for you to be out here selling pussy on the corner of 38th in Chicago. Passing out herpes and AIDS when you can work in a respectable, clean place. And that's going to put a lot of shit out of business, man, because I'm not going down on 38th in Chicago in the heart of Minneapolis and buying no pussy where they killed George Floyd and where the gangs is banging and all that, man. You know, I'm going to go to the Hyatt Regency by the airport and go in their nice little boutique. Like, you know, that shit on Friday, Chris Tucker said, yeah, I got to have her. Oh, hey, give me her too. Yeah, I got to have her. Oh, hey, baby, you too, you're coming. Oh, man, I want to get some mooshu. You know, hey, man, you gonna go in there, man, and get what your heart desires. God put this here for you and me. Enjoy, man. Enjoy.
Yeah, man. Like I told you, it's always gonna be up and down with that one.
Now, we got Dark and Lovely in the chat. Click the link, Dark and Lovely. Come on up, man. You know, Big Worm, what's up, dog? My man, Big Worm from the Shy. You know what I mean? Anybody else want to click the link and come on up and politic with me and Nate, man? We really need to have this discussion, man. Is it time to legalize prostitution, man? Is it time to legalize mushu? I want some mushu.
Nah, we got a band.
How many of y'all out here? There's probably a ton of people that say to themselves, man, I had a black girl, I had Asian, I had a Latin, I had Puerto Rican, I had white. I ain't never had no Chinese pussy. I wanted some Chinese pussy, man. Man, I want some General Tso's. You know what I mean?
What you call it?
Yeah, man. I want to see.
You gotta go to the bathhouses though.
Yeah,
you gotta go to all the bathhouses, but you gotta make sure you don't get the wrong one and get ran down or get the Robert Kraft treatment though. That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing, man. So there's people out here that, man, I ain't never slept with a black girl. I want to sleep with a white dude out here ain't never slept with a black girl because he can't, and he's too scared to go in the hood. You know what I mean? Because he might get robbed, or who knows what's gonna happen. But he don't know how to talk to black girls, or he's a 40-ass bald dude in his 40s wearing glasses and a businessman, and he would love to be with a black girl, and he's willing to pay $1,000, $2,000. Why should that sister not be able to get that money?
What?
Senator so and so. Hey man, there's something I want to share with y'all, man. I want to share this with you because it just came across the news, and I want to share it, man. I'm gonna let y'all watch this, man, to see how they jammed this dude up. Now it's crazy because you had Donald Trump, and you had Trump and all his people, doing what they was doing, and they was giving everybody a hard time that wasn't rocking with Trump. And now that Trump's out of there, you got the national spy agencies. Man, they done heard everybody's phone call. They know everybody's freak shit, man. And they know they can't use it, but they know who been out here doing what, man, through these cell phones, man. And now you start to see different ones from the Trump faction in trouble. You got Matt Gaetz. He was one of the ones that when they was having some shit going on, the Democrats was having a special meeting, and he busted up in there with all the Republicans, let us in, and they busted up in there and was breaking all the rules. And now that dude done found himself in the midst of a witch hunt. And where do they go? They go to the sex. Watch this. Let me play. Bad, y'all.
Joel Greenberg, one associate of federal Congressman Matt Gaetz, has agreed to plead guilty to 6 offenses according to brand new court documents, and to help in the prosecution of others. Matt Gaetz is said to be under investigation into whether he violated sex trafficking law. But the 6 Greenberg charges represent just a fraction of the 33 original charges against him, and include sex trafficking of a minor and introducing that minor to other men for sex. Other details paint a sordid picture leading to these felony charges. So joining me now, NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams, and NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Garrett Haake. And
did y'all hear what she said? He's in trouble for having sex with a minor and then introducing her to others. So he went and got some of that and said, damn, this thing good. I got to turn my boys on to this, man. This little motherfucker is good. And passed her around. So we're going to get a replay of that, man, and hear what they said he did.
That's sex trafficking.
Nah, that was one of the counts. That was one of the counts. That was in the news, son. The nigga that look like Hammerhead from fucking Spider-Man. You look like a pedophile.
And include sex trafficking of a minor and introducing that minor to other men for sex. Other details paint a sordid picture.
Now that minor shit, we can't help that, man. We can't condone the minor shit. But listen, y'all.
News
but he said he admits in these documents women for sex, and that one of them was under 18 for part of that time. The documents say Greenberg paid her for sex with him and others. She had a.
It said 150 times. It said 150 times. Wow. He was gone on that, man. No, that's 150 bus offs that he got, man, that he paid for, man. We can laugh and clown and all that, man, but it's just sex, man. He didn't hurt anyone. He didn't beat anyone up. But you gonna threaten to put this man in jail with murderers, rapists, all of the worst of society. And all he was doing was having sex with somebody that wanted to have sex with him. You really gonna lock a man up and take him away from all that he loves in his life because he has sex with someone and thought enough of them to pay him for it? If they would have gave it to him free, nothing was wrong. But because he paid for it, it's a crime? Damn, why can't he have sex and then say, you know what, I want to give you some money because it was so good. I don't want to pay for the sex. I just want to pay you for your time. I want to pay you because it was good. God damn, it was good. Damn, man, you done turned my legs into spaghetti noodles. I can't even walk. It was good. That shit ain't right, man. That ain't right, man. I just don't believe it's right, man. Now he got telling on his friends and snitching and all this type of shit. And it's all politically motivated, man. I ain't no Republican, man, but this ain't right to do this to the Republicans, man. Now, because you don't agree, now the Democrats is in power. Now you about to see a whole bunch of Republicans get busted for sex. And then when the Republicans is in power, you see a whole bunch of Democrats getting busted for sex. Come on, man. This shit that they doing ain't right, man. Let's listen a little bit further.
Account on the website in which she represented that she was an adult. Greenberg is accused of having sex with her at least 7 times when she was a minor. And then the court documents say other men who Greenberg introduced to the minor engaged in.
On a side note, real quick, man, I got to offer up an apology to Sinful to P, man. Sinful to P, it was out there that he had sex with a minor. He got the girl pregnant. But I got to apologize because, yes, he pled guilty, but he does not have to register as a sex offender. And the reason being is that the girl that he got in trouble with for having sex because she was a minor, the cops thought she was 19. She had a fake ID and she was in jail for 3 days before they found out that she was not an adult. And she had Sinful to P thinking she was an adult. She had a fake ID and she was working it. And I called that man a pedophile when I didn't know all the facts of the case. So Sinful to P, Brandon Gilmore, let me be the first to say, I'm sorry, bro. I was wrong. And I owe you that, man. I ain't going to justify it and give excuses. I was wrong. I didn't do my homework, and I jumped out the window. So send for the P, I apologize. Okay, back to it.
Commercial sex act with the minor in his presence when she was under 18. The other counts to which he agrees to plead guilty involve fraud and misusing his office, creating fake IDs.
Dave, it's very important to point out here that none of this mentions Matt Gaetz. We don't know if it has anything at all to do with Matt Gaetz. But does it tell you anything at all when you see a reduction in the number of charges against someone from, say, 33 to 6? Dave?
Speak up, Dave.
It does tell you a lot because the feds are not going to cut a deal with a accused child sex trafficker, especially not a deal this generous, without that person able to give up a bigger fish. And they're not going to cut a deal with someone who will give up someone beneath them. Like, this is an ex-local government official. So the bigger fish is going to be a sitting member of Congress. Now,
for those that don't understand what he just said, they're not going to cut a deal to a dude that's on the block selling dimes and 20s and 30s if he's going to snitch on somebody that's buying this shit, a user. He going to have to tell on the man he's getting the shit from. The middle guy, the mid-level dealer. And then the mid-level dealer tells on the big man, and the big man tells on the big man, and so on and so forth. So what that means is that this little local Florida state representative is going to tell on a congressman. And it could be that dude in the middle, Matt Gaetz, who been running his mouth and was all for storming the Capitol and all that shit. They're going to make him pay, man. See, that's where they come with that phrase, man. He who resides in a glass house should not throw stones, man. The pot should never call the kettle black, because he who haven't sinned cast the first stone. Won't nobody be throwing rocks.
we don't know that for sure because his name is not mentioned, but this is a good deal for Joel Greenberg. He has 27 different counts dropped. And if he could produce the evidence, the documentation, the corroboration against Matt Gaetz or others who are bigger than he, then that is going to result in a reduction in his sentence, even below, very possibly, the mandatory minimums here. So it's all up to Joel Greenberg, because this deal only goes forward if he comes up with the goods.
So what do you think the chances are that Matt Gaetz is going to be spending some time with his lawyers, at least on the phone this weekend?
Oh, I think that this really ruined Matt Gaetz' weekend.
Now, the man got arrested. In the news, is talking about someone that hasn't been arrested. So you know that they done told them, man, we got dude, but dude's rolling over on his boy, but you ain't heard it from me. You know what I'm saying? Keep that off the record. Look, JoJo, that's my man. But on the reals, that nigga be stinking. He'll be wishing his ass, and he be smelling like shit. We was playing basketball the other day, and, you know, we played about 8 games, and after the game, niggas was tired, and we was sitting on the court, man, and that nigga was sitting on the court, and he had gnats buzzing around his ass. Flies and shit, trying to lay motherfucking maggots on the shit. The nigga shitty, but you ain't heard it from me. See, that's what this is. Hey, Miss Gardner, how you doing, baby? I loves me some Miss Gardner. Oh, yes, I do. That's my girl. Nobody better not say nothing bad about her. But when you get close up to her, her arms smell like an Italian delicatessen. Arms are stinking. All that hair up under her arms. Bitch ain't shaved since she was 12 years old. When you get up close, it look like she got a gorilla in the headlock. All that hair under her arms. I can't stand being around her because she's so funky. But hey, girl, all right, you take it easy. I'll see you later. See, that's what that was, man. These people done let the cat out the bag without saying it. Now, this dude been charged with a crime. He done agreed to cooperate and plead guilty to only 6 of 33 charges. So How in the hell do they take that and turn around and say, Matt Gaetz better be worried? Because they know it's coming. Yeah, man. See, you got to watch what you say and do, man. It's a free country, and you got the right to speak your piece, but they also got the right to knock your goddamn head off when you've been doing shit in the what they say, you've been doing shit in the rinse. It might not come out in the wash, but it's gonna come out in the rinse. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Matt Gaetz, you've been out here huffing and puffing and blowing houses down and make America great again and riding with Trump, breaking laws and all that shit, going against these institutions, supporting the people that stormed the Capitol building while the senators was in there. They had to run for cover. And you think they're going to let you get away with this? They got to make an example out of these people, because if they don't, they motherfuckers going to storm the house again. And next time they might kill a senator. Oh, yeah, man. It's on and cracking.
Because he now knows that not only is Joel Greenberg, his wingman, taking the plea, but also that he is representing two federal prosecutors, that he has corroboration, he has text messages, emails, Venmo receipts, and very well may have other individuals like Matt Gaetz's ex-girlfriend to also back up Greenberg, because the feds aren't going to just rely on Greenberg's testimony alone. The guy is a walking criminal enterprise, and his words mean nothing. He has to have corroboration to be at all credible in front of a grand jury and then ultimately in front of a trial jury.
So, Pete, how long has Matt Gaetz been talking to prosecutors and that they've been able to come to this agreement that he's going to cooperate with them? And where does this go now?
Not Matt Gaetz, Greenberg, lady.
So I think you meant how long has Joel Greenberg been talking
Joel Greenberg,
to
yes.
Right.
Well, we know for at least a month and possibly before that. And I think it's absolutely right that the government would not have agreed to this if it didn't have some corroboration of what he said. And I should also say that this...
We're going to pause it right there. We heard enough of that, man. Whew. Man, I tell you what. Thank you, Dark and Lovely. I appreciate that, man. You know, when you're wrong, you just got to admit it, man, and keep it moving. Don't try to justify it. Don't try to make excuses why I was wrong. I jumped out the window. Me and the nigga had it back and forth, and he called me and my group bozos, and so I called him a pedophile because he had sex with a minor, but I did not know that the girl had a fake ID. She was arrested. She was in jail in an adult prison for 3 days until they found out that she was a minor. So yes, he did have sex with a minor, and they did charge him with that, but they couldn't charge him that he was a willful participant because he was fooled. And so he doesn't have to register, which is only right. So I owe the man an apology because he doesn't have a history, and he ain't, that ain't what he's about, man. Sinful to P be kicking that game, man. And I was following the nigga till that shit went on, but I owe the man an apology, so I had to give it to him. But man, that's all right, Nate, you know. But Dark and Lovely, if you ain't scared, come on up, you know, and speak your piece. Should they legalize prostitution, man? You got a man all jammed up, going to lose his career, everything that he's worked for, you know, regardless, he's a Republican or whatever. The man worked to get where he's at. He's playing the game that's played. He did not invent it. He's just a spoke in the wheel. And now he done got caught up behind sex, man. Come on, man. Come on. We all got kids. If our machinery and equipment works and the ovaries work and the sperm work, we all got kids because we all partook of the bountiful flesh. You know what I mean? We all have had sex. And I can't imagine someone locking me up for having sex, because if that would be the case, they would literally lock me up and throw away the key. You can't lock somebody up for having consensual sex with another adult, man. And because they exchanged money, people pay people to cut their grass. People pay people for advice. People, it should be illegal to pay, what's them people called? Psychics. That should be illegal because you're not no psychic. You can't predict the future. You don't talk to the dead, but you can go out here and pay a psychic. You remember her? Call me now. It's Lady Cleo. Do you want to know what your man's doing behind your back? Call me now. Y'all remember Lady Cleo? She blew up when they had the 976 Chumpy. I remember we went to a place in the Burg. It's called Kennywood. It's like Busch Gardens, Cedar Point, Geauga Lake, and all that. In the Burg, we got Kennywood. Went to Kennywood, man. You know when you was a kid, man, if you got a park close to your house, man, you had a community day, and you go to the amusement park, man, and it rain and shit. You like, damn, man, you know, when you a kid, you broke, man. You only got to go to Kennywood once a year, community day. They had a bus. You ride the bus, fuck around, miss the bus and shit. You ride the bus, get your little outfit, get your new shoes. You know what I mean? You be ready for Kennywood. You be running around, come on, trying to find a girl to ride with you. You be all geeked up. Yeah, man. I asked Madria to ride with me. She said, yeah, nigga, I ride with Madria, nigga. Yeah. And then when you get to Kennywood, she riding with somebody else. You be sick and swole, ready to fight. Be that bitch, man. She riding with the punk ass nigga. Man, them was the days, man. You know what I mean? You get to Kennywood, man. You be geeked. And you had Miss Cleo, she was a mess. You know you had shit where I lost my train of thought, but you could get you paying for everything, anything, but you can't pay for sex. Come on, man. Come on, man. Damn, I can't believe I lost my train of thought, man. Somebody in the chat, what was I going with it before I talked about the amusement park, man? God damn it. That never happens to me, man. That might be the first time in 20 years I ever lost my train of thought. Shit, that's a hurt piece, man. I feel my CTE dementia coming on. That's crazy. It just went blank. But anyway, nevertheless, man, I know where I was going with it. Here we go. Right back at you. Miss Cleo. They had the 976 number. So when we went to Kennywood, man, you know, there would be other communities. Penn Hills would be there, or Wilkinsburg, other little towns in the city. You know what I mean? There'd be when you had your community day, it wasn't just yours. There was 4 or 5 other communities on that day. So when you got to Kennywood, man, there was other girls out there, man. So you know you got 4 or 5 of you and your homies walking around, man. Got your Reebok classics on with the fat red laces in that go with your blue jean shorts and your red, white, and blue Tommy Hilfiger polo golf shirt, you know what I mean? And your hat on backwards, man, and got your name on the joint, man. You know what I mean? You coming fresh to death as you could possibly be as a 15-year-old, man. And broke into somebody's cologne and squirted yourself 80 times because you wanted it to stay on you all day. So you had to overdo it in the beginning so you could have some in the end. You know what I mean? You wanted to make it to the finish line, smell good all day. And then you see a pack of girls, man. And you know, niggas be like, oh, man, you ain't gonna say nothing, chump. You scared. You scared who? Man, I hollers, boy. I shoot my shot. So, man, we roll up on the girls, man. And my man, good old Handbone, man. That boy said, man, I'm getting her, man. So he rolled up on the girl. This was probably 1990, 89, 90. The girl had on some Reebok classics. And she had on a little ankle sock with the little ball in the back. And she had on a short jumper. And it was airbrushed. And it said Pretty Kitty, and she had some diamonds and shit on it. And she only had one of the joints clicked and the other one was hanging. She was running around. She was looking like Chili from TLC, man. She was a fine little young fuzzling. That's right. I said little young fuzzling. She was fine. She had the asymmetrical bob cut. Not Chili, but T-bars. She had the bob cut. She had the bamboo earrings in with her name in it. Aisha or something, you know what I mean? Can't remember what her name was. And my man rolled on her, man. He rolled on her real smooth, man. And he must have had this shit. He practiced it, man. And I remember word for word what he said to her, man. He rolled on her. He said, excuse me, baby. No, he said, hey, this is what he wrote on her. He said, excuse me. Hey, Candy Apple, what's your name? Can I get your number? I'd love to call you. She said, yeah. Nigga pulled it out of pen and paper like, you know, he was going to write the number down. He looked over at the fellas. He was bobbing his head like, yeah, nigga. She said, 976, And we bust out laughing, man. It was one of the funniest things ever, man. You know, when you young and immature and you trying to get your game right and you trying to prove to the fellas and you summon up the courage to walk up to a stranger that you don't know and kick some game to her and don't know if you look good enough, is you fly enough, and fuck the fellas, I'm going in. And he stepped and we all was right there and her girls was right there. And she said 976, And we fell out and her girls fell out and he was standing there all fucked up, man. And we laughed and laughed and laughed, man. They putted and we putted. And we laughed at him and her girls was high-fiving each other, man. And after we got done laughing, we was like, no, man, fuck that, man. We ain't going out like that, man. We went back and got them, man. We went back and got them. Said, y'all, man, hold up, man. That was cold-blooded. Y'all rehearsed that, man. You know my man hit you with the cold piece, man. Hey, Candy Apple, what's your name? Can I get your number? Give you a call. You know that was cold for a 15-year-old young player. Yes, sir, man. They laughed and, you know, we woke them up, man, and we rode a couple rides. We rode the Jackrabbit, you know what I mean? We got on the log jammer, got wet. You know, they was tripping. They didn't want to get their perms wet and shit, you know what I mean? Couple niggas moved in and got the whole little hand. Niggas had beepers and shit. You know what it was, man. Motherfucker had all their money, man. The nigga went to the bank before Kennywood, man. And took $60 in there, got 61s, and wrapped about 420s around that, man, and had a knot. You know what I mean? Had a knot. But what you did is the last 20, you put a rubber band around that so that the ones didn't unfurl. And then you had the rubber band around the outside. So you had two rubber bands on it. So when you pulled it out, you had that knot and you just pulled one of the 20s out. You know what I'm saying? And niggas was balling, man. But Lady Cleo, call me now. She was a fraud. That wasn't illegal. You can scam somebody out of their money by them paying you for some shit that ain't even real. But you can't exchange currency for companionship, for love, for time. You need to be able to go ahead and share a moment with a stranger for a small nominal fee. You know what I mean? There's women out here doing bad. They look good, but they make bad booty decisions. You know what I mean? They make bad booty decisions and they got a bunch of kids and don't nobody want to settle down with her because she got too many kids to too many different men. And the kid, not only is there too many kids, it's too many baby daddies. You don't want to deal with that, man. This your woman, and every time you turn around, there's a new nigga coming over. He need to talk to you about Junior or baby girl cutting up in school. or she got to have a talk with him with you not around. And they ain't dealing with all that. You don't know if they talking about screwing later on. Is this the one dude that she loved? And he got another family on the other side of town, but he liked her sex and she liked his sex. So they still hooking up, but you taking care of all the kids? I ain't got time for that shit, man. I ain't got time for that, and I don't know too many dudes that do. So that woman, she could be a prostitute. Legal. You know, I wouldn't be one to be, what's the word? I wouldn't be one to be frequenting the prostitute parlor. But there are some people that have to. You know, there's some people that have to, man. That big fat motherfucker, that ugly, cold black nigga, that skinny, missing tooth, yellow bitch. All different type of reasons that dudes can't get the woman they desire. But hey, if they can pay for it and the woman's willing to lay down, there's no even exchange in robbery. You know what I'm saying? There's no even exchange in robbery, man. Why ruin a man or a woman's life because they had sex? Something we all do. We want to make it look bad because he paid for it. Well, when you look at it, I'd rather go and drop $200 or $300 and keep it moving than to pay for her motherfucking electricity, to pay for her cigarettes, to pay her motherfucking mortgage or rent, to pay her car payment, to buy some other dude's semen school clothes. You know what I'm saying? You paying, either way you look at it, you gonna pay. The power of the P is real. And if she look good and it's good, she's getting paid. And same for the brothers, man. You see them. Nick got baby to a bunch of different women. Ain't got no job. Don't know how to hustle good. But he keep a whip and nice clothes and money in his pocket. He must be hitting that thing right all across town, and they are going to work for him. People been paying since the dawn of the sun. The first time the sun came up over the horizon, motherfucker been paying for sex. And it's time that the United States get with the program, man. Get with the program, you know what I mean? Let's stop letting dudes get robbed, catching herpes, getting AIDS, getting gonorrhea, taking it home to his wife. Now they breaking up, the marriage is over, the college fund gets dissolved in the divorce settlement, and mom blows it because she's not good with money. Hold on, I'm gonna take this call. Hello. Oh, I don't know. Are you with an agency? Oh yeah. That's for the t-shirts. Yeah. I'm actually doing a live on YouTube right now. Can I call you back? Okay, thank you. Oh yeah, that's for the t-shirts. I ran into a new vendor with good prices. But yeah, my man Harpo for Prayer said it's called OnlyFans. I don't know if OnlyFans is legally selling sex. I know they legally selling pictures and all that, man. But you know, when I was speaking upon my man kicking that hell of a line, say Candy Apple, what's your name? Oh, y'all, man, that was one of the funniest moments in my life, man. Like, that really was, man. there was another time, man. It just so happened we was at Kennywood, man. And I had this homeboy, man, rest in peace, C Lover, man, Carlson Cook, man. We used to call him Boat, man. And the reason we called him Boat, because it was short for tugboat. He called himself Love Boat. He was one of them niggas. He gave himself a nickname. You know what I mean? One day he came across, and it was during the airbrush era. He got C Lover airbrushed on his jumper and hat. C Lover? Carlson, come on, cuz. C Lover? Nigga, you ain't got no girls. He laughed, and man, he was the coolest dude, man. C Lover was a cool dude, man. My boy playing basketball in Germany, and he met R. Kelly, and through this and through that, man, C Lover was with my man, and he met R. Kelly, and he was singing, and man, he was about to get put on with Kels, man, and he got murdered, man. He got shot in the back, man. One in the back, man. He died, man. He had two little boys at the time, man, and I remember I put out a CD of some music of his and shit, man, and sold it. I only raised about $800, but I gave it to his baby mom. You know, I was only 21 at the time. I wasn't hustling, man. I just was burning CDs, hustling CDs and incense and shit. And I put together a CD, man. I did that. I know when I think back, I've done a lot of things, man, trying to show love, man. But back to the story, man. C Lover was about 5'8", 230. Big butt, little short nigga, big legs, strong. He wasn't really fat, but, you know, he was overweight, but he was a strong little thorough nigga, but his hygiene wasn't the best sometimes. And he was one of them dudes, man, that if he used the payphone, he might get electrocuted because his hands was always wet. Ain't nothing worse than when you go, you might meet somebody and you dap them up or you shake their hand and their hand is wet. Damn, nigga, you just gave me pneumonia, motherfucker. Fuck is your hand so goddamn wet for, man? Shit, you're a sweaty hand person, man. Then you find out later in life that's like a thing, like a condition. Like there's people out there with perspired palms, man. They like gotta take a pill or put the stuff on their hands like a deodorant that stops the perspiration in their hands. I don't know what that's about, but that's an icky feeling, man, when you splow somebody up, man, and their hands is wet. Like, yeah, nigga, you playing in puddles or something, motherfucker? The fuck? You just come off the bat, you pissed on your hands, nigga? Why the fuck your hands wet? What? You shake the hand, you never shake it again. You give them the fist bump, you know what I mean? And it's a quick little one, like, you don't know if they knuckles is wet. Like, damn, nigga. Both had wet hands, man. In his armpits, man. That's my man, though, because he was a silly dude, man. And he would take ribbon, man, like he wouldn't fight. He would just laugh, you know what I mean? And like he would say something back, you know what I mean? But we all loved him anyway, man, you know. And Bo always had cotton in his ear, and he would always say, huh? Like, damn, man, this nigga, man, like, as I sit here and think about it, I don't know, he probably had wet feet. Like he had a problem with shit come out his pores, his skin. And Bo always had that cotton in his ear, and he always would say, huh? And niggas would be like, huh? Huh? Make fun of him, you know what I mean? But he was talking to this girl, man. And he would always holler at the ladies and make them give him a hug. You know, the huggy bear type dude, man. He always hugging them like he'd be talking to him, laughing, and he'd just hug him and roll or hug him. Hey, how you doing? He just was going to hug your ass, man. You was a female, he was going to hug you, period, man. Harmless, good dude, though, man. I was standing to the side of him, and she was standing to the side, and I'm trying to give her the eye like, you know, you coming with me. This nigga, man, you know, she ain't really. And I seen her look, and her eyes got big. So my eyes went where her eyes went. Man, I looked in the nigga's ear, and it looked like he had green slushy in his ear or something, man. Like somebody kissed him in the ear and spit a little slushy in his ear, man. I'm like, what the fuck is that? This nigga really do got pneumonia coming out in his ears. What the fuck? Oh, man. Yo, man. Oh, man. She looked, man. It was like she got scared. Like she drew her head back like somebody said something appalling to her. Like, I want to fuck you in your toes. What? She looked up. I looked. I said, what the fuck? I went around to the other ear to see if it was something was in that motherfucker. And I said, hey, man, you better put some cotton back in your ear. You got some green shit about to run out your ear. This nigga said, oh, yeah, that always happens. And went to the bathroom, man. And, you know, I stole the girl, man. And we hurry up. I said, come on, let's get out of here. I don't know what was in his ear, man. She laughed. I laughed. Rolled the glass, hit the ass. You know what I mean? We rolled out. Rolled the grass, hit the ass. We rolled out. We bumped out, nigga. But that shit was crazy, man. But we was at Kennywood, man. And he was hollering, man. Nigga had green slushy coming out his motherfucking ears, man. A nigga like Boat was a candidate for the paid prostitution, man. I just think it should be legal, y'all, man. And if Miss Cleo call me now, can be legal. Why is prostitution illegal, man? You know, I gotta say, man, that this conversation was needed to be had. And it might make you mad that you can't pay for the dussy. But that's the way it is, man. And we always telling people don't vote, don't participate. These are the issues we can bring up to the people that make the laws. Start the campaign. And we can come up with a slogan. After gay marriage, you legalize gay sex. Prostitution's next. Legalize gay sex, then prostitution's next. They legalize marijuana. They legalize gay marriage. It's time to legalize prostitution. Especially when it's legal in some places. It needs to be, it's legal in Amsterdam. They call it the red light district. The women stand in the window like mannequins. And you walk by and you see something you like, you go in and you purchase it. Let me take that back. You go in and you rent it. I'd like to rent some sex. Yes. Legalize prostitution. I say it again. In my Khalil Amani voice, we need to legalize prostitution because sex should be an institution. You shouldn't be put in the penal correctional institution because you engage in prostitution. It should not be illegal to pay for sex, man. It really shouldn't be, man. Go see the Board of Health, go see a doctor, get your checkup, get all your paperwork in order, and open up the Bunny Ranch, the Honey Ranch, the Fun Money Ranch, the Big Bun Ranch, the Big Butt and a Smile Ranch, Tits, 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 and Dicks, Dicks, Dicks. You got Dick's Sporting Goods. How about Dick's Sex Goods? Dick's Sex is good. Come on, man. We are in modern days and times, man. One day they're gonna look back on this day and say, man, that shit was crazy, man. They was going to jail for sex, man. Ain't that shit crazy? prostitution was illegal. When you look back on it and say, what? Vodka was illegal? That's just crazy. Could you imagine going out to the bar in the club and you got DJ Kid Capri on the ones and twos and everybody sober? Man, that would be the weakest shit. You right, Harpo. The Southern Bob, the Bible Belt ain't going for it. Imagine having a wedding and no wine and spirits. You know what I'm saying? Imagine a Super Bowl party with no beer. Imagine you never had a Miller High Life, the champagne of beer. Or never know Canai, or no Verdi, or no Moscato, or no Ace of Spades, or no Grey Goose. That's crazy. And now there'll be a day when they say, imagine you couldn't pay for Barbie or Snow Bunny or Sexual Chocolate or Ancient Chinese Secret. Man, get with it, man. You can't be locking people up for having sex. Come on, man. This Melee all day, man. Hit the like button on the way out, man. Hit the Cash App, Melee all day, because I try to work hard for y'all. That's right. If you will, we accept all forms and fashions, all denominations. We accept big donations and we accept the little ones, man. Anything you give, we appreciate. That's on the Cash App, Melee all day. I want to thank you for coming again and sitting down with me and spending your time with me, because time is one thing you can't get back. It is the most precious resource we have on earth, time, because you can never get it back. And I want to thank you for spending some of yours with me. It's Melee all day. And as I like to say, until we meet again, stay safe. Adios, amigos.